Hi, welcome to a special edition of Beer 30. I'm Greg.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Josh.
And today we are at Water Tower Winery in St. Genevieve to say hello to Micah Rousey. Say hi. So you're opening the old St. Genevieve Brewery.
Yeah.
And, well, really, you're going to see all this because we already toured the thing.
Yeah, just got back from a tour of the brewery. The brewery was built in 1894, and it was a successful brewery for a long time. It was then publicly owned for a little while, and I don't know yet if it ended because of Prohibition or if it ended a little bit before that, but it definitely ended at Prohibition. And the building was a warehouse since then, and we're trying to bring it back to a brewery.
Yeah, and it's a big place. It's going to be a really nice, looks really, there's some rough edges to it.
Oh, yeah. It needs a lot of work.
Yeah. So I guess today we're going to look at a few of your beers.
You brought a few beers with you. These are things that you brewed.
Yep.
And go ahead and talk about them.
All right. The first one, now these first two are the last bottles of that batch. So I happen to still have one of each of them, and so I decided to share them with you guys when you guys asked if you could feature St. Genevieve Brewery. So the first one is a pumpkin spice ale, or a pumpkin pie spice ale. I found a recipe for some pumpkin beer, and decided to change it to pumpkin pie spice and add all of the spices that you normally would inside a pumpkin beer. And then I tripled or quadrupled the amount of pumpkin so that you could really get that flavor. And so that's this one. It's kind of on the extreme side of beer. You know, it really, you'll really taste the pumpkin, you'll really taste the spice. And the next time I do this, next fall, I have a few ideas on how to change it to make it even more pumpkin-y. And
Really?
yeah, pumpkin itself doesn't really have that much of a flavor, and one of the culinary tricks to making pumpkin pie really pumpkin-y is to use butternut squash.
Really?
Instead of pumpkin. And that's one of the things that I'm bringing to the brewing. I've been a home cook for a long time, and sometimes treat going to the grocery store as a chef challenge just to see what I can do, something different.
Right.
My wife loves it because we're both really into the food scene. And then when I started brewing beer, I realized all the different things that you really could do with beer, and people wouldn't shun you for it.
Right.
Because if you start doing something like that with wine, no way that would fly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But with beer, beer drinkers are pretty open to say that we want to do something different. We want to try something different, and you put that ingredient in beer. Weird. Give me some.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the alcohol content? Let's drink it.
So I did that with my first beer, the pumpkin pie spice, the first beer for St. Genevieve Brewery. It was just an idea then. We didn't even own the building yet. But here it is, and we'll grab a couple more glasses.
Okay.
So any idea what the alcohol content is on this one?
It's on the website. Oh, I do have it written. This one's 5.4.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Kind of average.
Right.
This
Yeah.
one, the Christmas beer is pretty hefty.
Okay.
Yeah. But these are all bottle conditioned, and St. Genevieve Brewery is going to keep that with live beers. So, there's a little yeast cake on the bottom, and I'm probably not going to do this size of bottle anymore, because with bottle conditioned beers, I've got a yeast cake down there, and as soon as you disturb it, it's going to get into the beer, and your beer will be less clear. Now, pumpkin beer is usually never really super clear anyway, but you don't want to tip it back up and then pour it again.
Right.
And so I'm going to stick with 12-ounce bottles. I might do a Christmas beer in one of the big ones because it's for dinner.
Right.
You're generally sharing that anyway.
Right.
So some special beers, I'll really think about how it's going to be served. And remember that there's going to be 4 glasses in here, so I can't pour too much.
So real quick, what's the? I noticed that you have the badge on there, and then I guess you would call it that, or the seal.
Yeah.
What's that represent? I've seen that on your website and obviously on your bottles here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the logo. That was just that's actually the Saint Genevieve.
Okay.
So that's a logo that I found. It's just a representation of the saint. Just in case Brad wants something, it looks like
So this is a great time of year for pumpkin beer because they're all starting to come out.
We're getting close to the
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Wow. You can really pick up that pumpkin and all the spices.
Right.
Yeah.
It smells great.
Not as
Yeah.
strong as some of the other pumpkin brews, but that's good. I like this.
I might tone down the clove a little bit next time because the clove really comes through, especially on the palate, I think. But this is 8 months old, so it may have toned down a little bit. I'm not sure. Still there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the pumpkin brews that are like super sweet, pumpkin pie sweet level.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah,
good
no, this
pumpkin
isn't
beer
a
to me.
pumpkin pie beer. It's
No.
a pumpkin pie spice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
The
is
name
really good.
is. I'm trying to get the names to really say it all.
Right.
Got more. It's a little lighter than a lot of those others. They're a little more thicker. This is
Right.
seems
Yeah,
a little
more
lighter.
drinkable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more
A
drinkable.
little bit more carbonated, I would say,
Right.
than some of the other.
And that's an advantage of bottle conditioned beers and live
Okay.
beers. If you get the combination right, they will remain more carbonated in the glass. The bubbles are smaller. It's kind of like the difference between bubbles in a forced carbonated beer like Budweiser or in a champagne.
Okay.
Champagnes are all live. They
Yeah.
were real. The champagne method
Right.
for making real French champagne is that it's bottle conditioned, like a bottle conditioned beer, and that gets you tiny bubbles, big carbonation that really dances.
I like
Yeah,
that. I like
that's
the
good.
subtleness of the pumpkin.
I kind of like the high intensity of the clove there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's just I like because some of the pumpkin beers that I've had, they're too much pumpkin.
Yeah.
Where it's just it's too sweet and
Yeah.
Like you're drinking pumpkin pie.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's hard to drink more than
Yeah.
one. And
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
just kinda
I
tire
definitely like the spice part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe the clove takes over a little bit of the cinnamon, but I still like this beer. I was very happy with it.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good beer. You
That's
should be
good.
happy with
Really
it.
good.
tasty.
Yeah, Josh and I are ready. Come on, Greg.
All right.
What the heck? Yeah, they always yell at me. I'm not drinking fast enough.